What's up? What's up? What's up? Back again for another show. Back again, and listen, you know what I mean? Got a fun packed show tonight. We're gonna do the match preview for the excuse me, hold on 1 second. We're gonna do a match preview for just set the light so it doesn't fall down. Match preview for the game tomorrow, the Merseyside derby tomorrow. It's a big one. Because if we win this game, which I really think we will, do you know what I mean? But if we win that game, we've got top of the table, you know what I mean? We're only 3 points off the top, do you know what I mean? Due to obviously circumstances, but we should go top of the table, really, do you know what I mean? Obviously, depending on, well, we've got the early kickoff anyway, so we'll go top of the table temporarily anyway, you know, depending on obviously, depending on other results. Okay, but before I get into the show, please like and subscribe and also comment. Please do that for me. Please like and subscribe and comment. Yeah, get your comments in. Let me know if you agree with it, my points on the show. Brian's here. Bring Brian in. Let me bring Brian in without no further ado. Hello, Brian. How are you?
Can you hear me, Rod?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
I'm going to have to leave because I've got no audio. I'll be back in a minute. I just have to start again.
Okay, brother. Okay. Yeah. So Brian will be joining me. Hopefully, 12 man should be joining me as well. But as I said before I start the show, please like and subscribe and comment. You know, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with my points on the show and stuff, and let me know. You know, just generally be respectful and get involved. You know what I mean? Just get involved in the action still. You know what I mean? Also, hit the like button and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Okay, please do all that for me. Yeah. So without no further ado, we're gonna talk about the game tomorrow. The Merseyside derby is upon us again. Do you know what I mean? And it's another 12:30 kickoff, which I don't really agree with. Yeah, okay. Hello, how's you?
Okay.
You good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, it's very low.
Yeah, there you go. How's that? You okay? Yeah. We good now?
I might go out and come back in once more because the volume is really low.
What, on your side?
Yeah, you're just very low to me. So
Okay.
let me try this.
Yeah, try it again. Let me check my volume. Yeah, how's everybody? 12 man to the building.
What's good? What's good?
What you saying, 12 man?
I'm just doing some work in the office, trying to get some stuff done before I have to make this appointment. But doing my thing. How about you? How are you good?
I'm good, man. And listen, let me say, I was speaking to Fuzzy earlier on, and said like I was saying about our conversation yesterday. And listen, top-notch conversation, man. Top-notch conversation. Man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
That was just, trust me, it was worth going to bed late, man. It was just,
yeah.
It was worth it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know what? It was really good, really good.
Man.
But I was just saying to the people that I've just obviously started to talk about the game tomorrow, and I'm saying that it's an important game for us tomorrow because if we win the game, which I think we will win the game, we go top of the table, obviously temporarily. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's back that sort of like title charge that we obviously hope we would do this season. Do you know what I mean? You know. So what's your thoughts on the game tomorrow?
Basically, I'm in agreement with that. I think that we need to definitely pull this victory out because we have to. I mean, we're going through some interesting times, considering that City isn't at the level that we have been experiencing them be at for a consistent amount of time lately.
Right.
And we have to make the most of that opportunity and concede on getting these victories when we can get them. And if we one of the things last year, or the years that we've actually come very close to, is that we have occasionally played to our competition's level and allowed for them to surprise us with a draw, or even a loss in sometimes a couple of occasions. And we can't allow that to happen. So it's important that we maintain this momentum, or some type of momentum, to like get us to the finish line.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we need to really, be honest, that they go at them. Do you know what I mean? And like go at them from early and don't allow them to settle. And I think once they settle into a routine, you know what they're going to do? They're going to do the low block, put man behind the ball, and we're going to spend the whole of the game trying to, break them down, and they're going to hit us with a sucker punch. Do you understand what I'm getting?
Yeah.
What's your Brian? What's your feelings on the Merseyside derby tomorrow?
Good evening, both of you. Hope you're both well.
Yeah,
Same to you.
Yeah, your volume is it's really low for some reason, but I can hear you. So I might leave again at some other stage, but it's like you're both down really low. Well, I'd be fairly confident. I'm going for a 3-0 or a 3-1. We've been picking it apart a bit the last couple of days and sort of get into the weeds a bit on it. Once you stand back and look at it, we should still be more than enough for them. I only see one or two threats there, but I don't expect it to be a nice game or a fun game. Early kickoff, Merseyside derby. They're never really the most enjoyable games. They're tense games.
Yeah.
So I hope there's a good atmosphere, because the early kickoff kind of kills the crowd as well.
Yeah.
That might take them a little bit of a while to wake up. But as long as we get the early goal, we should be fine. Just don't go down 1 to them and have them sit there and try and get back into it. But fairly confident, but I'm a bit, I want to see a score first, and then I'll be able to relax. One of those ones. I expect us to win, but I still want to see that first goal go in.
Bajan Reds TV, Bajan Barnes, and the crew in the building. He says, "Big up Rodz, for romantic and shithouse Brian." That's coming from Bajan. That's coming from Bajan Reds TV. Make sure you go over and like and subscribe to his channel. Does some brilliant work over there. Do you know what I mean? Out there in Canada with his crew. Rasta Crowd, Bajan Pops, and also Bajan Angel as well. Do you know what I mean? Doing some brilliant work out there still. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, I totally agree. I think tomorrow, see what it is with sort of like Everton, what I've noticed, right, is that they've got the habit of catching you with a sucker punch. Do you know what I mean? And literally sort of like leaving your mouth open, like, how do you do that? Do you know what I mean? But so I think one of the main things that it would be today is controlling that game and setting the tempo of that game from early. Do you agree, Jeff, man?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think, if anything, when it comes to a lot of what we're seeing, at least, with this team, we tend to have, it's like when you go if you go to a car and you try to start it and it doesn't exactly start all the time, but once you get it revving and rocking and rolling, you're able to just let loose on the strip. So that's kind of what we've seen with this team, as in, like, sometimes for more times than not, we've allowed for teams to come out and kind of like hit us in the mouth, and sometimes it takes us getting like punched in the mouth to wake us up to say we need to, like, turn up this energy, or we need to like really put it into a different gear and take this to where we need to take it. And I know that they're going to sit back. They're going to be patient for their opportunity, and they're going to definitely look to make the most of the opportunity that they get when they get it. And chances are they will get an opportunity or two. I just think that the difference maker for us is going to be our goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper is the best in the world, in my opinion. And I think that, as long as he brings his A game, we should be okay to maintain the shot that they're going to probably one or two shots that they'll get. And I'm looking for a clean sheet. So I'm putting that out in the universe as much as I can. I want a clean sheet.
Positivity. Ravi says, I think Liverpool, we will win 1-0 scruffy, even though I want to, beat
Werther's original.
Werther's original,
Yeah.
Stop that.
So, I'm with you on that, Robbie. I like that. I 3-0. I want to see that score too.
Yeah, positivity in the place. Brian, who do you think at the end of the day is Everton's danger players for tomorrow? Who do you think we have to let Liverpool have to watch out for tomorrow?
I'd say the fairly obvious one would be Doucouré. Strong runner, midfield player, very powerful. They do have simplistic ways of getting to a goal, and him bursting in, getting the ball through. It's tried and trusted for them. It works, so it's something they'll try a few times. They don't have much quality anywhere, really. You know what I mean? There's nothing that really scare me. Like from a set piece, they've got big players. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's as likely to go off after 10 minutes as he is to score a goal. So let's see what he's able to do. But they do. It's just that kind of big physical threat that they might have when. Yeah, don't give away silly set pieces. We did that a few times against someone recently. We kept giving away silly set pieces right in danger areas. If you give them enough opportunities to get the big men up front and start throwing a few crosses in, I don't really see him other than, like, they'll just have that little bit of derby fire in them, even though I don't think it's the most intense rivalry we've had in a while. So it's the first 10 minutes, all we have to do is make sure that they don't, get something stupid from us. But I'm not trying to be dissing or anything, but I just don't see, they got the likes of Ashley Young, they've got Onana, they've got Dwight McNeil. These are pretty average players, Rods, They wouldn't worry me. Would they worry you? I don't know.
The only player that sort of like that I've got that I admire out of a lot that you said is Onana. I think Onana is a good player. He's a really good defender. I mean, when we played them last season and we drew 0-0, I think that was at their ground. Yeah, it was at their ground. Because when they came to Anfield, we beat them 2-0. But sort of like when we played them at Goodison Park and Onana was in there, you know what I mean? Onana was sort of like, literally for defending it, and that he ran the show. You couldn't get past him. He was just so much energy and, so much steel in his tackles and stuff. You know what I mean? That's one of the players that I admire. From Everton. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's like what you said in the thing. He's very temperamental because he tends to get injured. Do you know what I mean? So you never know what you're gonna get from him. They got that guy, was it Dan Juma? Dan Juma, they got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a bit, to me, he's still a bit of hit and miss. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, the only player. Corey, he's a good player, but I don't rate him as much as I rate Onana. I rate Onana more. You know what I mean? I just think he's one of those tough defenders that you need in your team. You know what I mean? He's not afraid of a tackle and get stuck in. Do you know what I mean?
And like with Doucouré, it's not like you kind of have to be on your guard that he's going to do something unexpected. It's like he has a signature move.
Yeah,
That's his thing. And if you can kind of look out for that,
yeah,
then yeah, on their day, any of these players can pop up and stick one in the top corner from outside the box. But yeah, he's not someone that's going to be. He's not going to be technically difficult to deal with. It's just going to be switched on, be physical, don't get bullied, and you should be all right.
yeah. I do get that. As I said, you know what I mean. Like, listen, you know, if you're talking about taking players out of that Everton squad, I'll take Onana all day long. I'll take him all day long. I can imagine Onana alongside sort of like alongside Canate. I mean, that's a powerhouse. That'd be a powerhouse right there. Do you know what I mean? So looking at Everton, the only guy that I will take out of there, do you know what I mean, is an Onana. I think, as you said, at the end of the day, the rest of the other players at the day, yes, at the day, on the day they can probably pop up and do something. But when you look at them players, the rest of them are just ordinary players. You probably wouldn't even have them in your team. Don't you think so, 12th man?
Yeah, yeah. There's no one on their team that's particularly, so impressive, or someone that I would, push people aside to try to like get them on our team. But they do have, again, I always say never take any team, especially in Premier League, lightly. You definitely have to go in with like all due respect. I don't think that you should go in overly respecting them in the sense where you play to some type of level that is not the type that you expect from yourself. But yeah, there's no one on their team that particularly wows me. And if anything, there's players on their team that actually make me like, I just can't stand Pickford. So I mean, it is what it is.
I've got 12th man. I've got no time for Pickford. I've got no time.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know what I mean. But Stefano said something here, which is true.
Yeah.
Everton team mate, like bums mate, right? Onana is the only one that you will take from there. Because to be honest with you, Onana is the only one that sort of like shines in that team, and I feel sorry for him because he's in a sinking ship. Do you know what I mean? You know, that ship is sinking, and probably about the only one that's holding it up. Do you know what I mean? But he can't do it on his own. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just for me, and I don't see anybody in that team really that can cause us problems. Probably apart from Lana. So I'll ask you at the end of the day. I'll ask you, 12 man, who are our danger players?
Oh well, that's a different story. I mean, our danger players are all over the pitch. To tell you the truth, at least I believe that's the case, because considering that the number of players that have scored for our team it's a pretty wide variety of scorers that have scored. I know a lot of people always make mention of our front three, depending on whoever's in from the 5, if not 6 players that we utilize in that front set. But I mean, we also have some very capable players in the midfield too. I think our midfield is actually very, very underrated. I know that McAllister hasn't necessarily been able to showcase his full locker of talents, but as in playing the role that he's playing right currently. But I also think that the goal that we saw from Dom, the fact that we're starting to see a lot more shots, even attempted from outside the box, is a positive thing to see, because before this, the people that we relied on for goals, I wouldn't say relied on, but if anything, we could say slightly expected to see a goal from, if it was attempted, would be like Ox, or maybe even like Hendo or something like that from outside the box, and on a very blue moon, maybe even Nabi. But I mean, like, those players don't really get involved in the offense the way that we see these new players, Ryan or Dom, getting involved. Even Curtis Jones, getting involved in the attack, and it's a very promising predicament. I wouldn't say predicament, but promising concept that we have to deal with.
Yeah, facts. Would you agree with that, Brian?
Yeah, I'm 100% with 12th man on that. Yeah, we all know how good whichever three of the 4 or 5 he wants to start up front. We all know how good they all are, what they can do. But it's that extra thing now where if a team just decides not to come out and play, then you've got 2 people, even 3. Yeah, Gravenberch can carry the ball forward, and have players that aren't expecting it and don't want to be dealing with it in areas they don't want to be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he's shown already. That's, we all hope that's going to become a bit of a thing for him. Obviously, he won't do it every week, but scoring the odd long range goal from outside the box when teams are just sitting in with nothing else to do. So I see those threats from everywhere. Yeah, and I like the way we're set up at the moment. All of our midfielders are well capable of scoring a goal. So yeah, we're well stocked.
Yeah, man. Big up to the Football Talk podcast. I was on his show yesterday. Guy called Ozzy, lovely guy. So please go over and subscribe to Football Talk podcast. Please go over. I can subscribe to his channel because he's a very good at his work and does works very very hard. Do you know what I mean? Sorry.
I was just saying, good man, Ozzy.
Yeah, Ozzy's a nice fella, really nice fella. So let's go through and then obviously people in the chat, you can sort of like get involved as well and give us your opinion as well. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through the team lineup. Do you know what I mean? Go for the team lineup. So big up Marion in the building. Big up Marion's in the building. She says Uncle Rodz, big up Liverpool 12th man, big up Bajan Reds TV, big up Ravi, big up Brian Morrissey, big up, and Philip, big up. I'll tell you what, I always like that about Marion. She always comes in and spreads the love. You know what I mean? She's lovely.
Marion's great. Yeah.
Yeah, she's lovely. I've got a lot of time for her. Let's go on the thing. So obviously we're gonna have Allison in goal. Obviously Allison comes in goal, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Allison comes into goal. Right. Then our left back is going to be Tashimikas. You know that. Yeah. Costas Tashimikas. Right. Verge comes in there. Comes in there. He's Virgil van Dijk. Right, who partners Virgil van Dijk tomorrow, my friend?
Is this who I want or who I think Klopp is going to pick?
Both, really. You could do both.
I would pick Kanate because of that's just who I go with, just for varying reasons. Yeah. But everyone seems to think it's going to be Matip, so maybe he does stick with Matip. But I think he'll go with Matip, but I'd pick Kanate.
Okay. We're gonna go with what you say first. Yeah, I'm gonna ask the chat who partners Virgil van Dijk tomorrow. Is it gonna be Kanate or is it gonna be Matip? Do you know what I mean? Chat, get it in, chat. KLFC says bless up Uncle Rodz. Big up KLFC. We got the chat, which is you. Stefano says Atem. Oh, Atem Marion. Yeah, big up Marion still. KLFC, big up. Let's go for Marion. KLFC, big up Marion. Okay. Who partners You part as a thing tomorrow. Van Dijk tomorrow. Tough man. Who do you think partners in tomorrow?
So on my video, I put that Matip would be the player that you see start the game. I have Matip starting the game because I'd like to see Matip be able to do one of the particular skills that he differs from Konate on, which is his ability to carry the ball forward, be able to penetrate their back line with his progressive carries, and it's something that I'm not saying Konate can't do at all, but I'm saying that Matip does much better, and something that was a particular skill that I enjoy seeing him utilize, because he's actually really good with the ball, and it's very difficult to get the ball off of him because he's so big and he has such long strides. It's very difficult when he does make those runs. So that's something I would like to see. It also because as far as defensively, I'm not necessarily worried too much about their offensive threats. I think that whether it's VVD or whether it's whether it's even if it is Matip not having the ball, and they're obviously Everton has the ball. VVD or Matip could easily be able to hold off threats from their attack. So I know Brian said something about Decore being big, and I know that
No. But like what you're saying there is like that I can flip that as well. Like it's not just that I'm saying only one player can do only one kind of thing. Because you're taking me very literally. What I'm just saying is I prefer him. They can all do. Matip, I didn't say Matip can't defend. I didn't say Canada can't progress the ball. That's why they're defenders. That's why they play for Liverpool. It's just I have a personal preference, and it's always been Canada, because I think Canada partners Verge better, and the more they play together, that's the main partnership. So it's not, like I'd be, Matip can carry the ball forward. He can definitely defend. I don't think it's going to be that big. I just don't want to. I don't want. I just want to be clear on what I'm saying. It's just that there's four. You can pick two from any four, and I'm perfectly happy with. They can all do the job. They can all do it equally to level. It's just we have to pick two, and I just like Kanate and Virgil because that's why we bought. I just like to see, because Kanate is so regularly not available. I think and get that on that kind of pitch. But even if it was Matip and Gomez, they could both do the same job. So I don't want it to get cut and dried that I'm saying this guy can't do this or this guy can't do
Brian,
that.
wait. The reason I wasn't knocking or trying to contest who you had at the center back at all. I was just saying my personal preference too, is my own personal preference is for what Football Talk podcast is saying in the chat, which is I believe that Matip has a good ability of carrying the ball forward. So with that ability against a low block team like Everton, where they're going to have, he'll be able to make these runs into the low block and possibly create something, because you're now bringing a defender in and trying to take the numerical advantage they have defensively by taking that center back or bringing in, additional players forward. You're taking away that.
I get that, but how many times a game could you see that happening? Because I could see that happening maybe once or twice, and I think I would only want Matip. But Canada could do the same thing just by running forward without the ball. You don't have to have the ball, and I'd want him to give the ball to the people in front of him. I think we have ball carriers in front of us now that. Yeah, it wouldn't be a game. Like, I get what you're saying and it works, but it wouldn't be a kind of a deal breaker for me, that one particular facet of it. Like,
you know what?
Anyway, look, that's where we are.
You know what, Brian? What I also think as well, and which is, which Konate can do well. He's good at set pieces. You know what I mean? So when I look at the situation with the Liverpool team now, yeah, I look at it as that we've got a healthy headache. Unless you know, I mean, honestly, last season, and we were struggling for players and they for positions and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? Now at the day, we've got a healthy headache now. We can
Yeah.
we can have Verge Canate, we can have Verge Matip, we can have Matip and Canate and as you said, you know what I mean, Gomez. You know what I mean? It's
Who
just
was your pick, Brad? Who was your pick?
me. I would go for Matip because of
I
Matip.
think that I'm just looking at it now. I think that gives it to Matip when you're adding it up.
Yeah, because what it isn't now, I thought I'll go for Matip and then not because he's ball carrying skills or so forth, mainly because he's experienced. He's experienced with the team. Do you know what I mean? And he's experienced a lot of these Merseyside derbies and sort of like games of this big magnitude. Do you understand? Whether it be sort of like against Arsenal or whether it be against what's we call it, Man United and so forth. So me at the end of the day, it's solely for experience, and I think these games that we have, do you know what I mean? When you play in Everton and the day, right? I know Kanate is good. I rate the player. You don't get me wrong. I rate the player, but certain games like this with Everton, you need players that they with experience at the day. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. So I will go on with Matty solely on that. But what you're saying about Kanate in the day, right? I totally agree with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm with it. What you're saying with Kanate, I totally agree with it. I just think certain games require certain players. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think Matip will probably suit this game because what you can do is, as I said, what you can do, you know, you can start with Matip in the 70th minute, you take him off and put on Kanate. You know what I mean? You know, and you know what I mean. It's a win-win situation.
Right.
Should be. Do you know what I mean? So
I don't think you. Plus, I don't think you're doing the opposite. I don't think you're probably not starting Kanate and then bringing on Matip. Most likely you're going to utilize your experienced player in Matip and get like a good 60, 70 minutes, depending on how the game is going, of course, and then go that direction of maybe bringing in Kanate for Matip, you know, to finish out the game.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I said that.
No, that's what I said. No, so I'm agreeing. I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
I'm just restating. I'm just clarifying my stance too. I believe that that's a proper procedure.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Football talk podcast said Matip in Matip in great form despite the own goal against Spurs. His ball carrying ability will be useful against a low block team like Everton. Yeah, you know, I think each player, whether it's like Matip or whether it's sort of like Kanate, brings a certain quality to the team anyway. I would just prefer and they Matip in there for the experience. You know what I mean? So you got two experienced centre backs in a derby. You know what I mean? You know, you can't go wrong. So we all know who's coming in at right back. We know that Trent's going to come in at right back because I think now Trent sort of like obviously is fit. He's going to utilise him as much as he can. Do you know what I mean? We know Trent's coming in. Right. Midfield. Who's going as a DM? Who are we picking as a DM? Who's going as a DM?
I'd go with. I'd say, yeah. I think he picks McAllister. I don't think he can start the game without him at the moment. He just, yeah. I can't see him making any other decision.
Okay. 12th man. Who are you going? Who do you think you'll?
I can understand Brian's reasoning because quite often, you know, even when he's come back tired, he's made that decision. I'm thinking I understand he's not coming back from Ecuador, but he's still coming back from international travel and international play. I personally would like to see Endo play. I think that this will be an amazing opportunity for him to not only ingratiate himself with the fan base, but also with the team by creating some really good coverage play and defensive and being able to possibly create some type of foundational block for him to for that defensive front or defensive line that we're looking for as this destroyer that so many people are clamoring for. But I personally, what I see Klopp doing and what I personally would like to see doing are possibly two different things. So what I could see him doing is exactly what Brian just suggested. But what I would like to see him do is start Endo, and it's not simply because I've been one of Endo's biggest supporters. It's more so I just think that you have to get an opportunity at some point. If this player is going to be a part of this team and start to try to make contributions or considerable contributions, he's got to get an opportunity. And there's no greater opportunity against a team that doesn't necessarily create that much of an offensive threat, and a team that isn't necessarily going to be one that you have to be clinical with your passing and everything else. And it's just more so, as long as you can be consistent and be able to contribute by giving the ball off to the players that are going to make those opportunities, like you able to connect to Trent, or you're able to connect to Gravenberch, or
one thing. Could I cut it? I just what I want to cut in. I don't see where I can see where I don't think it's mutually exclusive. He could. I mean, just because McAllister starts, I don't think that necessarily means Endo doesn't. I mean, if we lined up tomorrow with Endo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, I wouldn't be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could see a game where, it's number 6 by committee. Like we've been saying, there is no out and out. We don't need that destroyer guy. So there has been a bit of I'm not saying you, I'm seeing a few people saying, excuse me, Endo or McAllister. Well, why not both? When I'm doing this thing as well, to make it easy for myself, I'm kind of putting it in a position where Klopp walks into the team tomorrow morning and he asks them, hands up, who's fit and ready to play, and they all say, yes, I'm fit. So if we just take away anyone putting up their hand and saying, I'm too tired, I'm shattered, I'm knackered. So if McAllister's cool and good to go, if Endo's cool and good to go, maybe he looks at it and goes, right, well, Endo on the left side and McAllister in the middle are switching back and forth. I wouldn't be shocked to see that. So I'm not ruling. When I say McAllister, I don't in my head. In my head, I kind of think it's probably one or the other. But I wouldn't be. If Gravenberch isn't great, or Szoboszlai, Endo, McAllister, that's a pretty decent.
Oh yeah, no, I love her. I'm a very big Brian. I'm a very big fan of. Like I said earlier in the stream, I think our midfield is very underrated. I think that I think our midfield is one of the best midfields in the Prem right now, despite the fact that other midfields could possibly contend to say different. But I agree. I'd have no problem seeing a midfield of McAllister, Dom, and Endo at the DM. I personally just think that in my stream earlier this week, I just happened to think that Gravenberch has been playing well. He didn't go on by him not going to international duty. He has a little bit more. I know we haven't gotten to that pick yet, but by Gravenberch not being going on international duty, he is probably a little bit more fresh. Maybe we've already gotten past that point where Klopp will pick him to start, and without Curtis Jones in this lineup, that left-sided 8 is available. So I could see in my opinion, I could see a Gravenberch starting there, and then having Endo play that midfield that DM role. But I could also, like you said, see McAllister playing that 8 role, that left 8, and having again Endo play that DM role.
And that's the same for me. Just Rods. I'll finish with this. Like, and it's the same for me. That's where I think it's a kind of a domino thing. That's where Endo for me will. That's why he will just lose out if McAllister says I'm 100% fit, boss, because Gravenberch is going to get that start. Sabozlai is going to get that start. That leaves one spot, two to go into one, and it just it's just McAllister should obviously be first choice. So just playing the game of what team I think I'm expecting to see, I think he'll go with with McAllister in that role anyway, Rods. That's my shout anyway. I don't know what way the chat is going on it, or
I think so as well. I mean, in the chat, Marion said Big Mac, because I think what Klopp wants to do with Endo, I think he wants to use him more for the cup games. You know what I mean? Remember, if rumors are right, let's say rumors are right, and this,
and they always are.
Yeah, it was are.
Yeah, they always are.
No, it's Brian. It's true. It's true. We have Endo coming in January. Yeah. So that's
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm on board with that. Yeah.
He's a proper six, apparently. Well, I've seen him play. I'll tell you what, he's got a touch of an angel. He has got a touch of an angel.
Yeah. I've only seen the YouTube bits.
Yeah. I'll tell you what you do for that. Watch a game. Watch a game. Because I watched 3 games in the day of like this guy Andre, 2 Copa de Libertadores, and 1 league game. Yeah, right. And he has got a touch of an angel. Yeah, and I said he is a Klopp player. He is a Klopp player. So then what you got now? You got like your perfect DM now.
And he's cheap. He's only about 20 million.
Yeah,
really cool. Yeah.
20 million, you know what I mean? The thing is about it, you bring him in now, and that's your perfect DM now. So what I can see at the end of the day is Endo. I could see them keeping Endo, but what it will be at the end of the day, he will play more like your League Cup, FA Cup, obviously lower ranking teams and stuff, yeah, and probably your big team, yeah, and Europa Cup. I think you're gonna have him more for that, and then say what's gonna happen with Andre. Andre at the end is gonna play more the league games. You understand what I'm getting at? He's gonna play more of the league games as well. Yeah. And I think somebody like Andre and Dave, I'm not being funny, I know I'm chicken for the hatch. I think somebody like Andre and Dave, yeah, can be that player, can be the difference at the day in taking you over the line. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
I see Endo playing certain games. So I'm with you on this. I think at the day, I honestly feel at the day, if Matt 10, if he's fit tomorrow, he goes in that DM role. You know what I mean? I'd be very surprised at the day if he plays Endo in a DM role tomorrow. He'll play McAllister in there. So I have to put McAllister in there.
And you know what I forgot? I only heard earlier on. We all know about Salah going off for AFCON. There's also the Asia Games at that time as well. So Endo, it won't be for a huge amount of time, but it's in the same spot in the calendar there in that January thing. So around the time that we're hoping to bring in Andre in January, Endo. So I think that makes it even more likely in my mind that we'll be getting this deal. Done over the line in January.
Yeah.
What has been apparently reported though, big up to Jamie for this one too, because he mentioned it in the chat that I was in, and that is that the Premier League is going to, for the first time, be doing a winter break.
Yeah, they're looking at it. We've been looking at that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, supposedly it's been approved and that they're going to be doing it. So, or at least that's what Jamie was announcing. At least.
No, but what I'm saying, sorry to cut across you. Please excuse me. What is, they've actually done it already. Because remember, and they got a couple of seasons ago. What it was, like teams were taking turns in having a week off. Like 1 week it'll be so like Man United and it's a Man United, Wolves, Crystal Palace, and I don't know, let's say Tottenham. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. They have like almost like it's what in America we have what they call a bye week. And a bye week is like in football, like every team plays in NFL football at least. Every team will play that week, right? But there'll be certain teams that have a bye week, and that means that team doesn't play that week, and that's like
Yeah,
the week they have off.
and that's what it was. And then sort of like, and it came around. They came around to Liverpool had their week off, and so on. So they have actually done that. So probably what Jamie's speaking about now is
no. What Jamie's what he was referencing is that it's a set week for the entire league. So apparently there'll be a week that is just there's no Premier League.
Yeah,
it's a week off. Yeah, and it is actually during. He was referencing that is during AFCON, and that we will only lose. For instance, we're supposed to lose, I think, Mo, for what, 2 games, right? 2 games we're going to lose them for, 2, maybe if not 3. And now with that week off break, we're only going to lose them for 1 game for AFCON, which makes a huge difference.
What it is now, they probably set something in stone now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Probably like it's concrete now that they're going to have this time where all the teams are going to have a week off. Instead of like consecutive teams having a week off. So then picking 5 teams and next week pick another 5 teams and so on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
It's 1 week at the day, right? That everybody's going to have the week off, and you know what I mean? So yeah, it's set in stone. But they did sort of like try it. And do you know what? And who enforced that again? Klopp.
Mm-hmm.
Klopp enforced that. You know what I mean? Wenger was talking about it before, yeah, but it wasn't really listening to Wenger. I think that it's when Klopp come in and Klopp and they started to agree with Wenger and started to say about having a week, winter break and so forth. That they decided that they will look, yeah, maybe let's look at this winter break and stuff. But it's Klopp's enforced it. So really and truly, the Premier League teams in the Premier League have got sort of like Klopp to thank for 2 things. 1 at the day, getting 5 substitutes. Now 2 at the end of the day, the winter break. You know what I mean? They need to think about that before they start chatting off their mouth. Right. So when Liverpool 12 man starts talking, yes, he has a point. He makes it's a great politician. I told you he's a president, man. The president, man. Ravi said, "We will be able to."
We'll be able to control the game from the start. He's saying, yeah. That's what Brian was hoping for. That's what I think we're all hoping for, is that we don't allow for any room to breathe for Everton to get that breakout goal that they end up just getting that goal and then really, really just parking the bus. That's something I don't want to see.
No, it's basic. It sounds like very basic math, and it sounds stupid to say it out loud. But when you go 1-0 down, that means you've got to score twice to win the game.
Yeah.
Scoring twice in a Premier League match against a team that's got 11 guys that doesn't want to do anything, that can be a hell of a lot harder than it sounds. So, of all the games not to go 1-0 down early on in, it's this one.
Facts.
This is the one.
Facts. Okay. Who's going on the left-hand side, guys?
Gravenberch for me, and I think Klopp will pick Gravenberch as well. Sure.
12 man?
I'm in agreement.
Yeah, yep. I'm in agreement as well. What's the chat saying? Who are we putting on the left side of midfield? What is the chat saying? Let me know.
I'd be surprised if anybody else's goes too different. The guy's been not sensational, but he's been as good as we kind of hoped.
I've always, you know what it is, Brian? I've always rated that player. And when I heard that the day Liverpool were after him, I said, listen, please don't fuck this one up. Please don't.
It must be 2.5 years Klopp has won. Like, openly wanted him. No bones about it. Wanted him.
Yeah. Since he was with Ajax, when he saw him at Ajax and said, yeah, you know what? I like that player. And but he went to Munich, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they got him for around 18 million pounds. They got him for nothing because of the contract.
Yes.
So yeah, he was one I thought Klopp probably thought, I'm after missing this kid now. So it was no surprise to me that as soon as that was even a sniff of a deal again, he was all in on it. And he's one of those guys that, like, sometimes you watch a player and you think he's nearly complete. This guy is almost you look at Gravenberch and he's not finished yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're looking at him and going, this guy is getting much. He's only going to get better because he's only feeling his way in. But then when he tries to do something, he turns on a bit of skill, does something different. Oh, special.
Did you see that shot he had against Brighton? Brighton when he hit the crossbar. I tell you what, if that would have gone in, that would have been contender goal of season. Definitely, that was a contender, man. Quality.
Because he's catching people out with his size and his skill. They're not expecting him to be that skillful. They're going to start giving him a bit more respect now because his ability on the ball, you think you can close him down. He can turn you and go past you very, very quickly.
Do you know who's like that, Brian? One of our players, long-time players that was like that. Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch was like that. He fooled people with his size because he's about 7 foot, wasn't he, or something shit like that, right? You know what I mean? And very gangly.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how much skill he had.
None of us realized how much skill that guy had. I think we were all shocked at some of the stuff he was able to pull off. Not saying he did it all the time, but yeah, the definition of good feet for a big man.
Oh yeah, quality. He was quality. Right, I'm gonna speed this up because 12th man has to leave for an appointment. So yes, get back on it. We all know who goes on the right hand side. We know it's gonna be Sabozala. Okay, so who we got on the left, Jota or Diaz?
12th man.
Who we put
I go with personally. I would like to see Diaz go on the left. Look, I've said that it's a toss up. I know that Nunez possibly might have something like a issue, like some type of like not medical issue, but like he might not because of something that happened with like his dehydration, and there was something I think that Chris Angel was saying about his something with his like blood or something. Anyways, long story short, I just think that I would like to see Diaz start because Diaz there's been some reports coming out that have alerted me or alarmed me a little bit, I should say, that football again is a really difficult sport mentally, and sometimes the pressures of the game can be very, very debilitating. And he missed an opportunity to score a goal or score against Ecuador this week, excuse me. And by him missing that goal, the reason why he was given the PK is because he's been looked at or has been seen as being the best player in Colombia now. He's like the heir apparent to the throne. If they're for I don't know who was necessarily on the throne before that, maybe Falcao or something like that. But like, who would you say?
James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Okay, James Rodriguez. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I also looked at like his time at Everton kind of showed that he was like wavering from that throne. But
doing Ancelotti a big favor going there.
Yeah, exactly. But the reason why I'm bringing this all up is because like by missing that PK, I think the one unique thing about it is Colombia is very, very difficult place to play when you are a football player because there's just so much pressure and so much attention thrown on players. Lucho has always been a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. He's a very family-oriented person, but by him being in Liverpool, it's a completely different environment, completely different, circumstances for him. And he's very beloved in Colombia, obviously, but I also believe he's beloved here or there in Liverpool as well. And I think that coming after the pressures or having what happened this week in international play, I'd like to see him have a bounce back by being included in the starting lineup and being able to possibly, start that streak up again, or get that weight off his shoulder a little bit by, getting a goal or getting an assist or something like that.
Facts. So Luis Diaz goes into there.
I know it's a long way to get to say Luis Diaz.
Yeah, my shout is I think he'll pick Shota. I think he'll but I would pick Diaz. But I think Klopp's going to pick Jota. Just for the record, I think he gets the start.
Right. Apparently, Darwin Núñez at the day sort of like he's supposed to pick up an injury, and he's a doubt for tomorrow. So
Diaz is?
No, Darwin Núñez.
Oh, Darwin Núñez. I thought you were talking about Diaz. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's doubt for tomorrow. So the only other person that you can put in there is Gakpo. You know what I mean? Because he's fit and ready to go, because he never went on like any sort of like.
I have a quick question, because I know I have to bounce pretty soon here, and I'd love to hear your opinion and Brian's opinion on this. But I know that we've Hackbo has somewhat moved away from playing the left wing. Initially, when he came and he was playing out in the left wing, and I know that Hatta has somewhat still plays on the left wing himself, but he could possibly say that his more preferred position is being at that number 9 role. Is there a shout to maybe put in, all things depending, if Hackbo is able to do it? And I don't want to see Hackbo start, because I think that I don't want to necessarily rush him back after having a strained knee or whatever the injury was, a knee injury. But just giving Hatta the start at the center forward.
Yeah.
And then possibly, getting some minutes for Hackbo, possibly by either coming in for Diaz or coming in for Hatta at the 9, especially.
Yeah, I think Jota could start. Yeah.
You know what it is? Sorry to cut across you, Brian.
No, that was my answer. Yeah, no, because I know he has to leave, so yeah, I could see it, definitely.
The only thing about that with Jota, I think he's a better goal threat coming off the left than what he is to centre forward. Do you know what I mean? I know he can actually play that role, but like, to me, and then whenever he comes off the left, we put out the left and he comes off there and he runs inside and he scores a goal, or headers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And you pull off the back of his man, and do you know what I mean? And bang, right in the left corner. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking a bit of chance, to me, taking a bit of chance to put him as a centre forward, because he does his best work on the left. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The only thing that you could do is actually start Jota instead of Diaz. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then they can Jota and Gakpo, and then they could intertwine together. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes Gakpo will pop up on the left, and Jota will be through the middle, and so on, vice versa. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Solely having him as a centre forward, I don't think he's much of a goal threat as solely a centre forward. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. Because I've seen him in a couple of games, and they have played him as a centre forward. You know what I mean? And he's not much of a goal threat. That's the only thing about it. I think you take some of his goal threats away. That's why I would rather say, look, with the Diaz situation, I'd rather have one or the other. I'd rather have, Jota starting and then Diaz comes in later, or, Diaz starting and Jota comes in later. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I said, most of his best work is done off the left. Even when he came on against Newcastle, do you know what I mean? Him and Harvey Elliott came on against Newcastle, yeah? And, Jota was on the left. He was causing havoc. The game literally changed. When Jota come on, the game literally changed. You know what I mean? Because he's just causing havoc down the left-hand side. Because my problem that I've got, I know you got to go quick, but I'll tell you this quick. my problem with Luis Diaz is he needs to do more. I need to see more out of him. I know he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a good player, and I like him as a player. Don't get me wrong. And I think in the day, Klopp made the right choice in going out and buying him. You know what I mean? But you're gonna need to see more coming from sort of like Diaz, more of a goal threat. Do you know what I mean? More running at players at the day, and stop losing that ball. You just need to see more out of him still. I just think at certain games that Diaz plays, Diaz, it doesn't affect the game as I would want him to affect the game. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but with Jota now, Jota is a different animal. When Jota's playing on the left, you probably more or less know you're going to get a goal from him. You know that. If Jota's on the left, Jota's going to score your goal. You know what I mean? At least one goal. With Diaz and Infinite, you're not kind of. I'm not saying that he doesn't score, but you're not sort of like, you haven't got that confidence at the day that sort of like that he's going to get you a goal, much less than Jota. You know what I'm saying? Because Jota off the left, one season he scored 20 goals in all competition. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. That's why, you know what I mean. I would literally either start Jota or Diaz. Do you know what I mean? And have Gapper going through the middle. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's what I would do. I mean, So, all right, let's read out the actual lineup basically that I got. Lineup is Alisson in goal, obviously. Kostas Chimikas comes in for the injured Robbo. Do you know what I mean? And don't forget, right? We could also use Gomez as left back as well. You know what I mean? We can use Gomez. You know what I mean? Van Dijk and Matip are the two centre back partnerships. Yeah, because we've gone for the experience. Do you know what I mean? With do you know what I mean? That's a very experienced sort of like centre back pairing. Then you got the vice captain Alexandra as a right back. Okay. We all know that once Trent gets fit, he's got his place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. McAllister comes in as a DM. Do you know what I mean? Which at the end of the day I can understand because I do feel that Endo will play more of your Europa Cup games and sort of like your FA Cup games, the preliminary rounds and like that, League Cup games. Supposed to in as the 8, you know what I mean? And then you got Gravenberch on the left. That makes up your midfield trio. And up front, we've gone for Luis Diaz on the left, Cody Gapper through the middle because, Darwin Núñez is injured out for tomorrow. So Cody Gapper will take his place. And then obviously Salah on the right-hand side as we go. Quickly, guys, give me your prediction for tomorrow's game. 12 man, you first.
Okay, so this will be, I have to make this my last stanza here. So I have, I'm hoping for a 3-0 victory tomorrow. I'm hoping that we can get a clean sheet, like I said earlier. I don't think that, I think that they're going to get they're going to have an opportunity or two, but I'm hoping that, again, world-class performance from our world-class keeper can be the difference. If not, if not from our captain or whoever his partner is in the middle. I also believe that we should be able to control the game. They're most likely Everton's going to give us a lot of possession and allow for us to basically dictate the tempo and dictate how we approach trying to score. But yeah, I'm hoping for a 3-0 win, and it's going to be not. I don't think that it's going to be a completely easy game because anytime a team sets up a low block, knowing our history, we've had difficulty trying to break down those low blocks. But I'm hoping that these new additions to our club can make a difference in solving that riddle. I guess you could say in essence. So that's my prediction: 3-0.
3-0. Brian, your score prediction for tomorrow?
3-0 as well. Yeah, I would go. I think Mo, Darwin. I think Darwin will come on. I think if he doesn't start, he'll come on and he'll score. Mo will get something. Well, yeah, it might be two. It might be tighter than that, but I think Mo and Darwin will score, and we'll win at least 2-0. So yeah, it might 3-0 down.
Well, I'm going for keeping in the tradition of things and tradition of like how the Liverpool games have gone this season. I am going for 4-1 to Liverpool. I think they score, yeah, but I think they sort of like we're just pummeling after a while. Just pummeling. Even if, especially if they score first, they'll probably just wake us up and we just start going out. You know what I mean? I don't want the first, but like the advantage it is that when they do score, when teams do score first against us, it tends to wake us up and then we just go at them. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I'm going for 4-1. So I will pick Diaz as well. No Darwin. Oh no. Yeah. So big up to Liverpool 12th man. Thanks for jumping in. He'll be on the show tomorrow. Okay. So big up to you and safe journey. Drive safe, my boy. Drive safe. Also, Marion says, yeah, 3-0 with Darwin scoring a hat trick. This is crap. No Darwin. That goes sometimes. That's good. You don't always get to see your favorite guy play football. And the last one, Liverpool 12 son, take care to the chat and big up to the panel for allowing me to participate with them up the Reds. And you never walk alone, Liverpool 12 man. Big up to you. Brian, thank you for joining me this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Great fun.
Nah, but listen, as I said, I got another show tomorrow, the Pan Debate show. So I'll give you a shout, and obviously if you're available, jump on, my friend, because I always value your opinion, my friend.
Yeah, what time is that at tomorrow? It's
9 o'clock. It'll be 9 o'clock tomorrow.
9 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, nice one. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'll do, mate, I'll send you the link in the tomorrow daytime. You know what I mean? So you got it, and then you can just jump on there, bro.
Hopefully we'll be celebrating the win together.
Oh yes. That's what we want. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
All right, so that is the end of the show. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining me. Thank you to Marion, thank you to Ravi, and everybody else in the chat. Do you remember, if you're watching this on a replay, please hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button, and also hit me up in the comment section and let me know how you think I'm doing, and let me know if you agree the points on the show. Also, okay? As I said, I should be back with you tomorrow for the panel debate show. I will be doing a watch along as well, so I'll be back for you for that as well. So 2 shows on tomorrow, and then obviously the max reaction will be the next day, where we go for the player ratings and stuff. So hopefully we are in good spirits and we're going to be celebrating on the max reaction. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Get those likes up. 13 likes is nowhere near enough for Rod's stream. Thank you, Phil, man. You know what? At the end of the day, thank you for the kind words. So yeah, listen, if you're going to watch this on replay, hit that like button, okay? Subscribe if you have not subscribed. On the way to 1,000 subscribers, okay? So please, hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed. In the meantime, peace and love and respect. Peace, guys. Peace. Production.